Man, that is going to be a slobber knocker of a game right there.
In all my time, I don't remember somebody scoring 4.
Yeah, it's funny. I use the word jetapult. It's actually a word. People don't realize it.
Good try. No soup for you.
Trey, go get you some wax beans and
soup to the deli, I know.
yeah, go get you some wax beans and have a good day, man.
Thanks.
First downs for Central Clay for 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. Roll call with a spidget.
Roll call. A spidget.
Spidget.
A spidget.
A spidget.
That's live in concert somewhere. Live.
That's a talking head, man.
You got it. Talking Heads, brother.
Talking heads, man. That's an old one.
A good tune right there.
Burning down the house.
Heck yeah, man.
Man, you feeling better?
Woo, man. I tell you, last Sunday night, Neil, I couldn't even watch the show. I was that sick, man.
You were weak, weren't you?
I was weak, but it's been a bad week. But I tell you, I want to thank you for coming to visitation the other night. I lost my sister-in-law, Jerry Lowry.
Yeah,
that was my Carmi's wife, but I wanted to give a couple shout-outs to some real dear friends of ours, Charlotte Davenport, Dino Leaney, Meredith Murphy, Stephanie Sullivan, Jan Nay Barnes, Malcolm McSwain, Blaine Stewart, and Calvary Baptist Church, and others that I know I left off. Y'all are special to our family, and I don't think Carmi could have made it without all you guys, and God bless y'all for what they were doing.
Huge turnout, rightfully so.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Sad situation. And Forrest Lee filled in for you last week. You did a good job, man. I'm glad to have you back.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Forrest, for helping us out there, man.
Yeah.
Time when I couldn't even get out of bed. Could not get out of bed. Couldn't even watch any football, man.
We had a couple new commercials today.
Yes, we do have a couple.
Hope y'all saw those on the social media on Facebook and Twitter. We refilmed the Crows and Brundage commercial and our new sponsor, Troy Eye Care.
Troy Eye Care.
And with Shanna May Fleming and David May. And Shanna Fleming May, I'm sorry, and David May. And hope they both liked it on Facebook, so I think they enjoyed that. So go check our commercials out. You'll see them here tonight.
Tonight.
Between our breaks, we'll show our new commercials. And speaking of commercials and sponsors, let's tell everybody who does sponsor the show. That way we can keep our show going.
Yeah, we got to do that. Yeah.
Troy Eye Center, Preston's Steakhouse, the Charles Henderson Athletics Foundation, Southern Roots Restaurant, which is very important that everybody knows they're out on the old country kitchen out by Diller's Funeral Home. And it's very important that everybody knows they're open on Thursday and Friday nights. And the most important thing is it is all you can eat.
And you get those old school treats.
Yeah, man.
I love that.
Go see them at Southern Roots. They're really good. That fried cornbread. Whew. Pike County Ford, Marco's Pizza, Hook's Barbecue, the UPS Store, Health Actions, Jones Medical Supply, All-Star Collision with Derek Bell, Crow's Chicken at Brundage, Severa Ralph Baker, Hastings and Reeves, Attorneys at Law, Deep South Apparel with Pete Van Horn in Montgomery, Pig Cafe with Mr. Yanni, Crease Insurance. Poor guy had his own truck sold.
I saw it.
The insurance agent got his truck stole.
God bless him.
God bless him. Yeah. Poor Mike. Crease Agency, out by the railroad tracks on 231. Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort. Dr. Steve Barron saw him at Crow's in Brundage today.
Hey, and I thought about a good commercial, man. I'm just going to bring a snake and wrap it around me and stuff.
An albino.
Hey, can you help him?
He says he won't work on snakes.
I know.
The Alabama Real Estate Connection with Toby and Dina Adams behind the helicopter across the street from Burger King right there in the White House. Turner Mowing, Blake Turner, give him a call, 465-0600, and his special's still running. If you tell him that you heard it on Sports Chat with Neil and Wally, you get a full yard cleaning and one for free. But you got to use the free one before March the 1st. So, hey, and a free estimate, and do that. And the Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen, Alabama, cheese biscuits before the meal. Hey, on Sunday at lunch out there, they're open on Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday at lunch. They got those little, those beans in the crock pot on Sunday when you go to church. Oh my God,
fried quail.
Man, you got to go to the barn in Goshen, Alabama.
Well, man, before we get started, what did you do New Year's? I ain't really talked to you.
I was asleep. I was asleep when the New Year rang in. Of course, my dogs were having a fit because of firecrackers.
Oh,
but
man.
Speaking of firecrackers.
Oh, no. What?
You remember we used to have them bottle rocket wars in the neighborhood?
Oh, my.
I'm talking sheer
Real bottle rocket wars.
Where we tried to hit each other with the bottle rockets. Really.
Patrick Edwards, Mark Jeffcoat,
hey, man,
Stephen Dix.
Michael Vance. Michael Vance, he was the one that always messed everything up and brought Roman candles.
Oh, yeah.
You
got us in trouble with Roman candles.
Well, what happened was, by the way, I had a cassette tape box that I had kept my cassette tapes in. Took the cassette tapes out and filled it full of bottle rockets.
My Herbie Hancock in that?
No. You got that Herbie Hancock back. I had a cassette holder full of bottle rockets. I had a briefcase full of bottle rockets. I was big time. But Michael Vance came down with the Roman candles. I got one of his Roman candles. And Brian Floyd. Brian Floyd, they got a brand new jacket.
Yeah, I remember that jacket.
For Christmas. And this was like New Year's Eve. We got Brian in the back with a Roman candle. And it just melted that jacket in the back. Well, Paul Floyd and Bonnie Floyd was not happy with us. I mean, we got in trouble with Paul and Bonnie Floyd. Woo!
But man, did we not have fun doing that?
Man,
All the hide and go seats.
Troy Jenright, Mark Jeffcoat, Sam Watson, Eddie Jeffcoat, Patrick Edwards, Mark Gully, Scott Sasser. Man, we had that was neighborhood. Son, we had. I mean, it'd be 12 on 12.
There was no Fortnite back in those days.
No, you got out in the neighborhood, and the parents would have a fit nowadays if all the kids were running around the neighborhood shooting fireworks at each other, or getting picked up and kidnapped or whatever. You just can't do that anymore,
man,
like we did, man.
All the hide and go seat stuff.
Oh, we have neighborhood hide and go.
Man, I tell you, I don't know if I think Sam Watson watches it sometimes.
Does he?
But I'm gonna tell you what, that guy could hide. We could never find Sam Watson. I don't know where he had a honeycomb hideout somewhere, but he would always win.
We had a good neighborhood back then, and I was thinking about the Bottle Rocket Wars. You said, what was I doing on New Year's Eve? I was asleep, but I thought about that Bottle Rocket Wars we used to have, man.
Oh, man. Good day, good times.
Wally, it happened.
I know what you're about to talk about.
Neil Brown's gone.
He's gone?
He's gone. Coach Neil Brown is, I want to say off to greener pastures, but let's say off to a greener wallet. How about that?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But, hey, West Virginia came calling, and he aced the interview, and it was just too much money to turn down. It was life-changing money. I mean, his kids will be set.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got to go.
Oh, yeah, you got to.
You got to go. I mean, his kids will be rich. I mean, if he manages his money correctly. I mean, Wally was a $19 million, a little over $19 million for 6 years. Were you about to say something?
Oh, yeah. You think we could get that for our show? You think somebody could come pick us up?
We need a sponsor for $1 million. That'll be a start.
Be a start. Okay. Yeah.
Amy Chandler at the barn. Can you come off $1 million?
$1 million.
We need $1 million to sponsor our show. No, his contract is a little over $19 million for 6 years. That's life changing, man.
Yeah, it is.
You got to go. You got to go. And as bad as we hate to see it, I mean, Troy can't pay that. We don't have that type of revenue.
No, we don't.
One day maybe, but right now we don't. We don't have that type of revenue. And you know what? I mean, that contract is the largest salary among the newest Big 12 coaches. And when I say newest, I'm talking Les Miles at Kansas, Chris Kleiman at Kansas State, Matt Wells left Utah State for Texas Tech. He's making more than all those three of those. Les Miles got a national championship, and Neil Brown's making more than Les Miles.
Well, hey, do you remember our good friend Mindy Perry?
I do remember Mindy Perry.
Mindy
in fact,
Perry?
her sister still lives in Troy.
Still lives here.
She's married to Steve Grice.
Yeah, it's Mindy Harris now. She's still good friends with us on Facebook.
Yeah, she was Afghan. I coached her in some sports, I think.
She played for it? I know she was
Miss. She always came and watched.
She was Miss West Virginia.
She may have played Afghan basketball, I think. And I coached her in that, I believe.
Well, anyway.
Mindy, did you play intramural basketball?
Now, Mindy watches our show all the way from West Virginia, but Mindy lives in West Virginia, so
I told her. She's getting a good football coach.
Yeah, I said, you're getting a great football coach, so be sure to go to the games. But Mindy's about the only person I know that lives in West Virginia.
Yeah, that's where they're from.
So, Mindy, if you are watching the show, congratulations on getting a new and a good coach.
Yeah, that's right. It is. And y'all stole our coach, Mindy. No,
Mindy.
I'm kidding, Mindy.
We'll blame Mindy. Anybody want to know why Neil Brown left? Just say Mindy Harris.
Mindy Harris. Sorry.
Mindy Harris did it.
Man, I'm telling you, you know what, though? Coach Brown is leaving Troy in better shape and with more talent than when he got here. Than ever, yeah. I mean, the recruiting class he just signed is incredible, and he's leaving it. He's leaving the cupboard full, and that's something to say. And for Neil Brown to take a live microphone and get in front of a basketball audience.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say.
He knew that he was being filmed by about 600 cell phones. he knew that you know that, and so he is essentially speaking to the whole city, and to publicly announce his love for Troy. He's lived here 8 years, two 4-year stints. His kids love it here. He loves it here. It'll always be quasi home to him, and get emotional and voice breaking. It speaks on what type of man character he is.
Oh, exactly. You know, because I tell you, most coaches, and you see this all the time, if they go to another school, they're
gone in the middle of the night. They're gone, and
they never come back and talk to the city. Or I mean, so that shows you in Morgantown what you're getting. You're getting a quality class act.
Yeah,
guy.
Unbelievable family.
Just
two beautiful daughters and a son, and his wife Brooke is just an incredible individual.
And that meant a lot to us when he came on our show, our very first show, inaugural show. So
Coach Brown,
that says a lot. But he's gonna be missed.
Yeah. And you know, when he was hired, Wally, it was his first head coaching job, and we all sat back and we said, "Man, you know what? In 3 or 4 years, if everybody wants Neil Brown, then that's great for our program. That means we've won a lot of games. And that means we've done awesome. So that's what we want." And here we are. We beat Nebraska. We beat LSU. Should have beat Clemson. The referees took it from us.
Yeah.
3 10-win seasons, 4 straight bowl wins. I mean, come on, man. I mean,
that's amazing.
Neil Brown being coveted by all these vacancies alone has put Troy on the map. Somebody wanted Troy, Alabama, Troy University's head football coach. Wanted him publicly and went out and searched him up. That's big time, man. Troy, the big schools have now wanted Troy, Alabama's coach. That's big. That's what we wanted when we hired him. It's so hard to let him go now, and it hurts to let him go now, but that's what we had to wish for when we hired him, is that he would be that successful, and he was.
He was.
He was.
He sure was.
And, hey, you know what? I mean, he's leaving the cupboard full of Wally. We got 5 quarterbacks. How many Sun Belt schools? I'm going to say none. How many Sun Belt schools can go to the press, or people like me and you talk about the program and say, hey, we're in the Sun Belt. We got 5 quarterbacks that could start spring training. 5. You got Caleb Barker, who was the starter, who, of course, had his ACL injury, and it will be ready for spring training. You got Sawyer Smith, who took over for Caleb, and after he got a game up under his belt, which was the Liberty game, he was all right. He handled himself.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then you got Jacob Free, who's the son of Randall and Bridget Free, out of Brantley, who signed just an SEC signee.
Oh, yeah, only SEC.
He was signed with Vanderbilt. Smart kid, tall, got a rocket for an arm. You got Gunnar Watson, who was the big signee last year out of South Georgia, who, from what I was told, really pushed Caleb and Sawyer this year. He just needed to learn the playbook. Then you got that Screws kid coming out of Pensacola area, Florida, who they say is incredible. Broke all types of records down there. I mean, this is going to be, I'm telling you, man, he's leaving the.
He might have left for millions, but he's left us millions.
He has, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. And this Gunnar Watson kid, I've been told, is really, really good. And he was just a straight freshman this year. He got redshirted. And we'll say, 5 quarterbacks, I've been told. A pretty reliable source. I don't want to say who it was. Yeah. We got 5 quarterbacks that could really be battling it out. 5. How many Sun Belt teams, Wally?
None, Neil. Well, I tell you what, I know we need to take a short break, but before we do take our break, just want to tell you we got a special guest coming on tonight.
We do?
Mayor Jason Reeves is going to
be here shortly.
Be here shortly. He's going to talk to us about Maori Davenport
and her suspension situation.
But we also got a lot of stuff to talk about. So watch these new commercials and get you a cup of coffee and come back. Roughing the kicker. Roughing the kicker.
What kind of call is that? You can't see nothing.
Yeah,
you can't throw a football flag in a basketball game.
Yeah, I can.
You need to go get your eyes checked, like for real check.
Where at?
Troy Eye Care, 566-7172. Troy Eye Care on Highway 87. Don't be calling basketball unless you get your eyes checked.
Hey Neil, how are you today?
I'm good. I want some of these chicken nuggets. Well, I want them down here, Crows and Brundage. Wally, what are you doing in the kitchen at Crows and Brundage?
Oh man, I'm trying to steal the secret sauce recipe.
Man, they're not going to give you the secret sauce recipe. Put that sauce back. Patsy, now he's got the sauce. Unbelievable. Come see them at Crows and Brundage. Hey, they got fried okra, catfish on Friday nights, wings, honey barbecue wings, any kind of wings, and the best chicken nuggets in the world. Come see them. Crows and Brundage. Thank you.
Wally, what are you doing with these Christmas lights, man? Oh, man, I'm putting up these lights, man, and one of them's done gone out, man.
Hey, man, one goes out, they all go out. Oh, I'm talking about, man. Hey, you need to call 267-7100. Quick Fix Delivery. They'll run and get you a new replacement bulb for $5 delivery cost.
Hey, I'm hungry, too. Can they help me out there?
Call Preston's. They'll even deliver Preston's for $5 delivery fee. Preston's Food. It's pretty good. Hey, the twinkly ones are not twinkling.
I mean, what are you doing with my lights?
Oh, I'm in the wrong house.
This ain't even your house.
Oh.
Wally, what you working on there?
Oh, man, I'm working on this yard bird right here. Man, Neil, this
Look at
paint,
that chicken.
man, this paint's going to the loo, brother.
Man, you know where you can get some good chicken like that fried up on the bone?
I don't know, man, but I'm getting hungry.
The Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen, Alabama. Give them a call, 484-3200. Wally, they got quail, catfish, hamburger steak, shrimp, seafood, and free cheese biscuits with your dinner. They're open Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, and lunch after church. Wally, this thing looks pretty good. Are you through with this? I didn't mean to mess it up. I'm sorry.
Man, what in the world? You just dang T-bone me right here. What the heck? Playing with fidget spinner? Wally, did you have a wreck?
Mr. Wally?
Man, this girl right here playing with this fidget spinner, texting on the phone and T-bone me right here in the parking lot. I was about to go pay my speeding ticket.
Right here at the police station?
Yeah.
Well, luckily at the police station, we can just call All-Star Collision, 808-8822. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. Can I have the fidget spinner back?
Yeah, you can have
Please,
it.
Mr. Wally.
All she's worried about is a fidget spinner. Call All-Star Collision for all your accidents. 808-8822.
You can't. Oh, okay. Pink Floyd.
Nope. Your face is all red. we had a little fun in the break, man. What about this song, man?
The Tubes, man.
One hit wonder.
One hit wonder, man. That was a great one. Man, I just can't get over that. Man, let me tell you, Neil, again, our commercials, that's why
we have fun doing those, by the way. We really do.
And we really just think it up just right at the beginning. And Neil's like, put these big old glasses on and just pretend like it's another sport. So Blake goes out there and dribbles, and I call kick interference, and I'm sitting there in those glasses. Anyway.
I think that's what makes them good is I mean, we think something up. I mean, we don't sit around and think about this stuff. We just do it. It's funny, man.
All right, okay, let's get
Hey, the NFL. Well, I know there's a pretty big college game. We'll get there. We'll get there. By the way, go ahead and get your supper and come back to the recliner because we're going over tonight. We may be 7:15, 7:20. You never know. We're not on a time schedule tonight, so we may run a little long.
Boss ain't here. So.
Boss not here tonight. We got it all to ourselves. NFL playoff picture. Well, David's here. We don't call him the boss. We just David Doty.
David Doty. He's my boss.
Yesterday in the AFC, Andrew Luck and Indianapolis Colts beat Houston Texans 21-7.
That was painful.
Who'd you have?
Oh, you know who I had.
he had Houston.
Oh, yeah, Houston.
Dallas and the NFC side beat Seattle 24-22, which is a crazy score, and you want to ask why. Sebastian Janikowski, the kicker.
Did you see him limping off when he tried to kick?
Is he like 46, 47?
I think.
Is he? Big old Sebastian Janikowski, who kicked for Florida State in 1985.
75, I think.
He's still kicking field goals. And he's good, but he's like 48, 49 years old, no joke.
Hey, and again, I want to give a great shout out to our friend Brian Schottenheimer. He is the offense coordinator for Seattle. Let me tell you, he
married Joy Scarber's sister, Jimmy Scarber.
Let me tell you, James and I we had a good time last night. Had a nice fire outside. So beautiful when we watched the entire game. And I even mentioned a couple times, James and I both said he did a great job play calling.
I thought so too.
Oh man, just some of the plays that I was thinking maybe he needed to run this, but he didn't, and he got 15 to 20 yards.
Yeah.
You can't say that was.
And Russell Wilson's fun to watch.
Oh, he sure is. But good gracious, just heartbreak that they lost. I was
pulling for you, Shotty, because I know Brian Schottenheimer, the old quarterback for the Florida Gators, is the offensive coordinator for Seattle Seahawks, and Wally and I know him.
We got to get him on our show.
Yeah, we'll bring Shotty on, man.
Yeah, we'll get him on call in one time.
And
Jordan, I know you watch. You need to tell him we'll get him a call in.
But I was really pulling for him, and dadgummit. But they lost. But anyway, going back to the kicker, Janikowski pulls his hammy on a 50-yard field goal attempt, limps to the locker room, and they don't have a kicker. They only got one kicker. And you would think, being a professional athlete, that the punter could kick a field goal. What do you think?
You would think.
I mean, all they do is kick all day long. A professional athlete that's a professional punter ought to be able to kick a field goal.
Now,
they wouldn't even let him try an extra point. That's why the score ended up 24-22.
I'm glad
they wouldn't even kick extra points. Yeah, he won by half a point on that one.
Yeah, the hook helped me.
Because Janikowski pulled a hammy and couldn't kick a field goal.
James said, "Why are you so excited about 2 points?"
Because they wouldn't have been going for 2.
They wouldn't have gone through.
It'd have been 24-21.
Hey, you know what? If they would have had me as their punter,
yeah, you drop kick it, don't you?
I would have drop kicked.
Could you drop kick?
Yes, sir, I could drop.
You know, back in the old days, before they decided they let somebody hold it for you, that was the way they kicked it, was drop kick. Back in 1908 and 1912 and 1920, drop kick was the way they did it. And then like in the 30s or 40s, somebody changed the rule where somebody could help you and hold it with their finger. But drop kick was the deal. Could you drop kick it through there?
I think I could. I mean, I could punch
the ball,
70,
you drop
60,
the ball, and the
70
ball has to touch the ground, and then you can kick it. That's a drop kick. But it's still in the
Hey,
rule book.
Can you actually, all jokes aside, call timeout and ask for a free kick and drop kick it into the upright for 3 points?
Yeah.
That's a rule that people don't know about.
Yeah, that's right.
And that happened to us.
It's still in there. You know, you can drop kick.
That happened to us in Georgiana one time, a long time ago.
Yep. But anyway, the Seattle lost, and Dallas wins 24-22. Man, that tough Dallas defense, man.
Man, they are tough.
And Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper, the former Alabama star who was traded from Oakland. The Raiders traded him to Dallas, and he's like just resurgence with Dak Prescott and all them. And Zeke Elliott running the ball. It was Zeke, Cooper, and Prescott, just enough offense to win the game. Not impressive, but just enough to win. And Dallas moves on to round 2. And this weekend is one of my favorite playoff weekends. It's wild card weekend. And there's been some great wild card games. In fact, Chris Berman on ESPN did a wild card weekend special. Did you see that?
I did see that.
He had like a clip from like the 10 best wild card games.
Yeah.
Of course, number 1 was Buffalo coming back from 31 points down with Frank Reich, who's the head coach now for the Colts. But I love wild card weekend. I'm not a huge NFL fan until the season's over. I like wild card weekend. I like the play-in wild card, and that's exciting, man. Because during the season, sometimes it looks like they're just out there earning a check. To me, I mean, I know they're not, but it just looks like it sometimes, and it almost looks like it's bought off by Vegas. How can they hit it on the nose? How can Vegas know that they're exactly 9 points better? You know, it just looks fishy to me, like boxing. I always thought boxing was bought off too. Who knows? But anyway, earlier today, the Chargers went across the country, slammed from Los Angeles all the way to Baltimore. Brandon had a little jet lag in that. And played the Ravens, and they won that game 23-19. The Chargers move on to round 2. And Lamar Jackson, the rookie quarterback, who took over for Joe Flacco about 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. Wally, the lights were just a little too bright for him.
Yeah, I think it was
the game was moving too fast. The Chargers rushers were just too quick for him. He was shell shocked, and you could tell it. And by the time he settled in, by the beginning of the fourth quarter, it was too late. It was too late. Like Oklahoma, Alabama. Oklahoma finally decided they'd play, and it was too late. Bama done whooped them 3 quarters. The same thing happened today with the Ravens, and the Ravens offense sputtered for 3.5 quarters. And I'm going to tell you what, Phillip Rivers does not get enough love. Let's go all the way back to his high school career.
Oh, yeah, back when he was up in Atmore.
Athens.
Or Athens.
Athens High School. Auburn didn't recruit him. Alabama didn't recruit him. He had just 1 or 2 big offers. He ended up going to North Carolina State playing for the Wolfpack. Had a stellar career, gets drafted. You know, he's almost 40 years old. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. he's got incredible touch on his passes. It's not like he's throwing BBs and rockets out there. It's just touch passes, leading his runners, man. It's just, and he's so smart, and he's got just enough cockiness about him to make him edgy. He's edgy, you know, where somebody like Cam Newton's just too cocky for me. You know, he's over the board. You know, he just takes it overboard. But Phillip Rivers, what an unbelievable career he's had, all with one team.
One team?
The Chargers.
Right.
And I love that kind of stuff, man. I just do. I think, for me, Wally, I want to see the Chargers go all the way through this year because I think Rivers may retire if they win it all.
Yeah.
If they don't win it all, he may limp back. I don't know.
Hey, well, right now, while the game's probably over, so if somebody can call us and tell us, but Chicago was playing.
Yeah, David, tell us what the Chicago score was.
Chicago and
the Bears.
I mean, Chicago and. There you go.
They hosted a wild card game today, and who did Chicago play today?
That's what I was trying to. Chicago.
They were playing.
I just had.
You just forgot, didn't
I just.
Anyway, we'll figure. New England. Who?
No, Chargers.
Philadelphia.
No, Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
they're playing Philadelphia. Philadelphia on their second string quarterback, but he won the Super Bowl last year.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Foles. But the Bears, I think, were pulling it out, weren't they, Doty? 4 minutes left, 15-10. Chicago's winning that game, so they're probably going to pull it out. Next weekend, you got the divisional playoff games. Kansas City's going to play Indianapolis. New England will play the Chargers, and they're waiting on the outcome of the Bears game for the New Orleans and the Rams.
New Orleans, it's going to be tough to beat them, man. I'm telling you, they are.
Yeah, they are. They're smoking it down there.
What about Kansas City?
Well, you know, they're in there too. They got Indianapolis and Luck. Luck is hot as a firecracker. So, I mean, but Kansas City, if they're on, they're incredible. But they can have an off game. You know, the new quarterback. I mean, his big thing, he's ambidextrous. He can throw it left-handed or right-handed. So
I'm like that too, you know.
Are you? Can you punt it both ways too?
I can punt it both ways too if I need to.
Hey, let's give the Preston Steakhouse Bowl Pick Contest update. Wally, we had 61 people play our Bowl Pick Contest. We're down to one game left, and that's the Alabama-Clemson game. Bruce Horn and Mark Turner are both tied at the top with 27 correct picks. The problem here is they both got Alabama picked.
Okay. So what's the kicker?
Well, there's a tiebreaker, of course, in the system. But there's one person that's in second place who's one game behind Chase Connell. Chase Connell has got Clemson picked. So if Clemson wins, that throws Chase in there with 27 wins. He's got a three-way tie, 27 wins. It's going to come down to the tiebreaker.
So that means I get the grill no matter what.
No, you don't get nothing.
I come in last place.
I've been telling you we're giving that grill away.
But I'm last place, but it's a three-way. Man, I need that grill.
Did Blake make those picks?
I think he did. But let me tell you, that's a three-way tie, and I think that should be a Wally grill.
This is a note we need to make. Bulldog Johnny was 3 games behind and never had a chance of catching them. All that smack talk.
Bulldog Johnny just talking.
All that smack talk. He was yapping on Facebook and Twitter, and I'm going to win this, I'm going to win that. I give it to you, Bulldog. You won 2 pizzas in high school, but
he done got big time. Talking to Paul.
Oh yeah, he's kicked us to the curb for Feinbaum. He don't care about that.
I know.
That's all right, Bulldog Johnny. It'll come back around. You'll be wanting Marco's Pizza here shortly, and we'll get you back. But don't forget about your Big Rat contest. We got some new entries. Jonathan Earls put a big one in there.
Yeah, I tell you what, there was some kid out of Tennessee. I'm glad he don't live in Alabama because I don't think nobody would have beat him. That thing was like 27 points and had like 4 or 5 racks together, man.
And the Witherington kid still haven't put his on there yet. So I don't know if it was Tate or Luke.
It's going to be hard to beat John Armstrong. That was
a big one too. But that's fun to watch those pictures come in. Keep sending them, and we'll do that. Let's go over these coaching moves real quick, and before we get to high school basketball. Wally, of course, we've said this a couple weeks in a row. Mike Lockley leaves Alabama and goes to take the head job at Maryland. Paul Johnson retired at Georgia Tech. Jeff Collins leaves Temple and took the Georgia Tech job. Scott Satterfield left App State, went to Louisville. Ryan Day is in at Ohio State. Matt Wells goes to Texas Tech. Mac Brown goes back to North Carolina for a second time. Kansas State hired Chris Kleiman from North Dakota State. And now we got Neil Brown going to West Virginia, which we spent the first 10 minutes on the show talking about. Mark Richt retires at Miami. Manny Diaz is hired by Temple to replace Jeff Collins, and then Manny Diaz, after 3 or 4 days, quits Temple.
Man, I hope he didn't buy a house in Temple.
In Temple.
Well, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, leaves Temple and goes back to where he was defensive coordinator and takes Mark Richt's position after Mark Richt retires. Houston fires Major Applewhite, and Dana Holgorsen leaves West Virginia, which made the opening for Neil Brown to go. And Dana Holgorsen now the head coach at Houston. And the quarterback transfers, a couple of things have settled since last Sunday, so I want to mention those. We all know Kelly Bryant leaving Clemson to go to Missouri because Missouri's quarterback, Drew Lock, is declared for the NFL draft. Jalen Hurts, we still don't know, and we won't know until after Monday. I'm sure we won't know till Wednesday or Thursday. But all we know on Jalen Hurts is that he's applied for graduate school at Tuscaloosa. That's all we know. Nobody knows if he's applied anywhere else, because he could. Justin Fields, who was threatening to transfer from Georgia, is in fact going to transfer, and he has announced he is enrolling at Ohio State University, and he's appealing to the NCAA sanctions to get his 1-year sit-out rule waived. I don't know why. I don't know what he's appealing. I mean, everybody has to sit out a year. Tyree Jackson, the Buffalo quarterback that Troy made look silly down at the Dollar General Bowl in Mobile, who said he was going to transfer from Buffalo and be a graduate transfer, has now changed his mind, and he's entering the NFL draft. So the last one we want to talk about before we take a break is Notre Dame. Their year-and-a-half starter, Brandon Wimbush, mum is the word on that. All he said is he's transferring. There's been no Twitter, no nothing. We don't know where he's going. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with you, and we'll cover some high school basketball.
Hey, Neil! Man, you all right? What have you done now?
Man, I fell off the roof, man.
What are you, stapling lights up there?
Yeah, man, I'm hurt bad this time.
You back?
Yeah, I might need a cane, man.
Oh, my God. A scooter, too?
Yeah, they got scooters at Jason Jones' place.
And call Jason Jones, the official oxygen of all Troy. Jason Jones at Jones Medical. Go see him, give him a call. They will hook you up with all injuries, everything. Wally, you fell off this ladder?
Yeah, I did.
Jason Jones, Jones Medical.
Hey, Neil, man, look at this feral cat I found outside. This thing's wild, man. Look at this.
That don't look like a wild feral cat to me. It's got a bow around its neck.
No, it's wild.
And you're going to take that thing out to Dr. Steve Barron at Southern Animal Pet Hospital Resort and get that thing checked out, man. They can put a microchip in there and everything and see if it's a real feral cat or a wild cat.
Oh, you think it's wild, though? It looks wild.
770-1838, Dr. Steve Barron. Go get that cat checked out. That was some good banana pudding right there. Southern roots, man. That's some good food. Wally, what are you doing out there, man?
I just ran 10 miles. Come get some of this banana pudding. Did you leave me some?
It's the best banana pudding we've ever had, man. Hey, Southern Roots, they're open Sunday through Friday for lunch. It'll be the best banana pudding you've ever had. Man, I'm glad you made it. How far did you walk?
10 miles.
Come all the way from Brundage?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go eat.
Yes, sir.
Real estate connection, man.
Can't believe this.
Deals going on, man. Got the calls up. What are you doing, man? Monopoly man. They don't play games up here at the Alabama Real Estate Connection. Get out of here, man. Hey, you got to get out of jail free card. You got to call Toby and Dina Adams right here, 566-4765, the Alabama Real Estate Connection. They don't play games up here. They're dealers.
The Doors.
Yeah, how'd you know?
I don't know, man. Just sound like the Doors.
That's called Soul Kitchen.
I don't know what it's called. I just know that's the Doors sound.
That's some good music.
I didn't care too much for the Doors. Well, I didn't smoke dope like you.
Courageous.
Hey, high school basketball is in full swing. Now starting the regional play. Regional play, and a couple of things went on over the last. Now, most of them just getting started back, but now they're in full swing. Go ahead, Wally, and call out the first set of.
Opelika beat Northview. Neil, Houston Academy beat Wicksburg. Charleston High School beat Greenville. Great game, which I watched you and David call.
Yep.
Enterprise beats Prattville. Headland beat Daleville.
Yeah, Goshen beat Highland Home and Ayrton. And Ayrton lost to Goshen, but they did beat Rehoboth this week. Elba beat Laverne. But although Elba beat Laverne, Laverne did beat Opp this week. So some win and some lose. CHHS also went 3-1 in Freeport down in a tournament where they played some Georgia teams and some Kentucky teams. And I want to pat Coach Doug Branson on the back for going 3-1 down there. And once they lost that one game and got in the consolation side of the bracket, they won out and won the consolation trophy. And there were some big-time teams down there. Charles Henderson was really playing good. They're 12-7 right now. And I would say 5 of their 7 losses, they're supposed to lose. 5 of their 7 losses, they were bigger schools, more talented schools, and they were supposed to lose. So good things to come in region play from Coach Doug Branson and Charles Henderson High School basketball. And Pike Lib just ready to get started. They took a long break over the college break, and so did Crenshaw Christian and some others. Brantley did too. The Charles Henderson girls are still undefeated, and Mayor Jason Reeves is here tonight. Come on in, Mayor Reeves.
Mayor Reeves.
And he's here. Good to see you tonight, boss man. And Jason's here tonight, and he's going to talk with us. But we want to let everybody know that Mayory Davenport is still suspended. The Alabama High School Athletic Association has still upheld their suspension. There has been a large uprising on social media, and I'm going to go ahead and say by the hour, more and more nationally recognized basketball heads and figures, even non-basketball national heads and figures, are getting involved and letting their voice be heard on social media and on emails and stuff like that. And Mayor, can you tell us how the city feels about all this and what's going on?
Absolutely, Neil. And like you said, the marquee games today for women's basketball, the halftime shows were all about, Maury, Rebecca Lobo, and I mean they were talking about Maury, but it's been a long couple of weeks, obviously, for the Davenport family.
Yep.
They are so grateful to everyone in the community for all the outpouring of support. It's just been amazing.
And they're humble. It hasn't been them out there on social media. It's been the community.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah. And they, they're just, they're just good, hard-working folks, and they just want to, they just want more to play basketball. And it's been a really unfortunate incident. I'd like to say how much I appreciate USA basketball and what they've done. I have been in contact with them over the last probably 10 days. Had a long conversation Friday, over an hour with the CEO of USA Basketball, and they pledged their complete support.
Sure.
And they take complete blame for the situation
of the clerical error.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. They didn't realize that she couldn't get the check.
Exactly.
They mailed it, and it was and obviously Tara was looking at it from a forward point of view of is more going to be eligible. Is this going to affect her scholarship?
College,
right.
Yeah.
And never dreaming that, and
because you got to be an amateur to play college.
Exactly. And one thing, Neil, that I think is really important for people to understand if they don't understand what USA Basketball is, but that is the preeminent amateur organization in the country.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Right.
So, but there's just been an outpouring from, the entire community, the entire state, the entire country.
Yeah, as soon as Jay Billis got involved, it was like a domino.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Mayor, what I'm getting, even on Board of Education side, people emailing saying, why is it Savarese being held accountable? Who is he being held accountable for? I mean, and I guess it's hard to answer that question.
Well, it is because of one word. It's called association. Yeah. Associations, their boards and their directors are hard to be held accountable.
But they're getting public funds.
Yeah, that's true.
Taxpayer money.
That's true. And I think all of that's, is in the process of being looked at. And while I don't want to, and I hope, I have been reaching out, and I hope that I get to sit down with Coach Savarese, and I've only met him one time, but I would love to talk to him about a way through this, because obviously this is not anything that anybody at this point wants it. And obviously by the letter of the rules, if you read the piece of paper and that's all you can do,
right,
then there was a violation.
Yep.
But there's got to be, and if they don't feel like they've got the authority to say, let's, then they need to get it.
Let me give you an example. And most of you know I run the court system for the city of Troy, and he's the mayor. Here's an example. Somebody gets a ticket going down 231 for doing 61 and a 45. And they come to my court and they tell one of our judges, my mother had just had a heart attack and we didn't know she was going to live 2 more hours out there at Edge Regional Medical Center. Well, if there's documentation that there was a true medical emergency, do you really think that judge is going to make them pay for that speeding ticket? Of course not. Of course not, Mayor. Of course not. Now, that person had too much weight on that foot on that gas, but their mind was in another place. And there's a forgiveness, and even though they broke the law, like you said a while ago, if you read it, you're doing 61 and 45. You were speeding. But sooner or later, you got to be a human being.
Well, and that's, that's what we're hoping for. And there have been also there's been a lot of interest with the state government, state legislature. Yeah. I appreciate Wes Allen and Jimmy Holly, our local representation, right. And all. I mean, everybody is, and there are a lot of people working to try to bring this to to find a way through, and that's what we want. And we want because we need strong high school athletics in Alabama. We need a strong organization. We need this isn't good for anybody, but it's especially bad for Lori. Yeah. And I've known since she was in kindergarten. She and my son Will have grown up together, and have watched her, and just such a talented, hardworking, and it's
so
not
humble.
just right, and it's not just the talent. It's the hard work that she's put in through the years. I mean, we have.
And when you're 40 years old, and 35, 40, 42, you have conversations about things that happened your senior year in athletics. She's missing that.
Absolutely. And it's been as hard a situation. I tell you what, it is. It's consumed, a lot of my time because, I feel obligated to do anything I can do. I've been all over trying to do everything that we can do because this is just. This just makes me sick. I mean, it physically makes me ill. Yeah. And it's just a sad situation. And Mario and Tara, have just, they are so grateful for everybody and everything. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to, make sure I put that out there to the public that they are, they're trying not to. Be out there too much, but
they're not. They're not.
But they're very grateful for everybody working so hard for them. I know that the school system, has worked very hard. I was on Dr. Hicks and Spud Seal and Brock, and they've all done everything that they can. But we're at that situation where, hopefully something can give, and we can see a way through. I have definitely not given up hope. I think that there are some, especially with all of the, everybody, you don't want Troy, Alabama being talked about for this, but there are a lot of people across the country talking about Troy, Alabama. During the Boston Celtics Dallas Mavericks game, it came up on Friday night on ESPN. Of course, Jay Billis and that, what he said. Yep. And I think that, Jay. I guess he's got a law degree from Duke, so he's pretty sharp. Yeah. And
I dreamed last night that I woke up and Donald Trump had tweeted "Make Maori Davenport great again." I think that's the only person that has not
make Maori Davenport great again.
Donald Trump, if you're watching our show,
which he does,
I think he does.
Goodness. Well, that it's one thing I think that it's been great to see is how the entire community, we live in a world in a time where a lot of things are divisive and people are divided. But this has been one thing
where the communities come together,
right? Where you've seen people come together, and if there is a silver lining to it, it's that. And I think that Maury knows that, her community, her state, her country, a huge part of it are behind her.
Yeah, I think she does too, and it's a special thing to watch. Seeing all the Twitter posts and the Facebook posts and the live coverage, like you were just saying, the way everybody's backing her up, and sooner or later somebody's got to sit back and say, this poor girl, we got to help her out here.
Well, Coach Savarese, all he has to do is just do the right thing and reinstate her. And just say, hey, I'll let the chips fall where they may.
And you're saying reinstate her, but there's been cases in the past where these rules and regulations that are set forth by the Alabama High School Athletic Association have been violated. And those people were punished for a couple of weeks and reinstated. Yeah. Why they've chosen this particular situation to just pounce.
And what gets me,
I just don't get it.
And it's not a male sport. It's a female sport, and at a time where we need to promote female athletics, it just makes Alabama look so bad.
And you would think that the Alabama High School Athletic Association would be going, wow, we got a top 15 player right here in our state.
In our state, yeah.
Let's don't just drown her.
And there was a teammate of Maury's from Illinois that
same thing happened, a clerical error.
Right, and Jim with USA Basketball told me she paid the money back, and they said, "Hey, we're going to let her play."
Their athletic association.
That's my understanding. I've reached back out to Jim to clarify that and make sure I've got that. But especially if we've got a situation where things don't seem equitable from one, and obviously I know that it's something that just needs to be worked out. We need to find a way to get through this.
Yeah.
And there's just, because again, how can the most ironic thing about all of this is how in the world can the preeminent amateur organization in the country, as designated by the Congress of the United States, how can you lose your amateur status by doing what they said
they said is to be amateur?
Yes.
I swear.
And so it's.
And Mayor, I've heard their CEO has been so gracious. And,
yes.
And has worked with you guys and our school system. I mean that says a lot, right there.
Yes.
Well,
they feel terrible.
Oh, I know.
I mean they.
Of course.
And I've been I've texted with some of them today, and and they are excited that this is beginning to be talked about
nationally.
They hope that
enough pressure.
And I don't want to. I don't want to see, I don't want this to degenerate into, I just want to see this move forward and everybody come out of it on the other side, better.
Yeah.
And, and I think the way that happens is putting Maury back on the floor.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
And finding a way to do that. And if there's, let's get creative. Let's find a way to do it. I mean, there's got to be a way, whether it's legislatively, whether it's, in the court system, let's all get together and figure this out.
Yeah, I agree. And there's got to be a way. And somebody out there, some attorney or some, maybe you or me or what, somebody ought to be able to sit down and find a creative way to do this.
Well, and we're working on several different paths right now. And I hope that, we can work with Coach Savarese and the High School Athletic Association and get this worked out. I really, that is certainly our preference. I know that's.
And something else that really bothers me is I was told that the monetary amount in the rule that she violated was $250, and that was set in 1978.
Well, I think that's been moved. I think that may be a little bit of misinformation. That's another reason I wanted to. One of the things about that, Neil, is the rule that she actually broke didn't really have so much to do with
a dollar amount.
It was just simply what they allow the college kids to do is, if you'd have a summer job, you'd earn some money.
Yeah.
And that's what most of them do. And that's
Cutting grass, washing cars.
And that's the thing. You know, I mean, how much money? I mean, and you know, Tara and Mario. They're you know, they're hardworking, middle-class folks, and I mean, you know, and
just like us,
right? And exactly. And money, you know, it just doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah, sure don't.
And so, you know, but that's one of the
My
things
wife thinks it does at Christmas time.
Well, that's probably, but you know, but that's where we are. You know, I mean, when you get a situation where you know they're just trying to, but that was the rule. The rule was, you know, they're giving this money as sort of replacement wages. You know, for you know, and so that was what happened. Yeah. And there's also clearly in writing a 1-year suspension. And I think that's probably what the High School Athletic Association is not necessarily hanging their hat on, but saying they're being held to is in writing it says this, and in writing it says this is the thing. So, but they're, you know, and sure, but that is a good rule. If you got some kind of ragtag, AAU,
doing it on purpose,
all kind of
Yeah.
But we're talking about the United States of America.
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking about she represented her country,
Yeah.
and not only, I mean, and she didn't ride the bench.
No,
she led them in blocks, led them in rebounds. Yep. I mean, she did a fantastic. I think she made the all-tournament team.
Yeah, she did.
But I mean, she did a fantastic job. And I mean, this is what I was told. What the CEO of USA Basketball told me was that the last high school kid that had, you know, that they thought had played at that level or had the opportunity to play at that level was Charles Barkley. And Charles Barkley always gives him a hard time because he got cut. So, and that's another thing. You know, people like I know that Charles had told.
He's involved now,
right? He is, and Carl Malone, and there are several. You know, very high-profile people that are, you know, that want to try to work this.
The dominoes are bumping.
They are, and I sure hope that, you know, but it all, you know, it all started by, you know, with a community embracing, you know, a young lady that is, you know, it's just hard not to root for. I mean, you know, you just, you know, and she obviously, I mean, she's not one of those. You know, she's obviously blessed with a tremendous amount of talent.
Yes,
she's not one of those people that just has only relied on her talent. She's worked hard. She's done the right things the right way.
Absolutely.
And, you know, she's somebody that can be looked up to.
And I even wore my state championship ring just for you, Ms. Davenport, tonight on the show.
That's
I really hope that things can get worked out. It just really bothers me.
Well, it
really bothers me.
It has, you know, there's been some. It's cost a lot of people sleep, and you know, and definitely, and certainly, you know, most of all, you know, I know that, you know, you just feel so helpless. Everybody does, and
that's why you know, and that's why people are turning to social media because there's nothing anybody can do.
Well, and I would say I would encourage people to continue to put the word out, talk to people. You know, and do it in a, you know, let's don't let it degenerate.
Right.
You know, let's
keep it moving.
Let's be positive. Let's move forward. You know, talk to your, you know, there are folks in the legislature I know that, you know, are interested in this. So, you know, let's keep things moving.
Keep the momentum moving.
Right.
Because I think the pressure's mounting.
Well, I hope that I hope that we'll at least get to a point where we can talk it out and hash it out, because it would be so much better to work it out, you know, in an amicable situation.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly. Well, Mayor, we appreciate so much you coming on, and appreciate your leadership in our community.
Yep. And you're welcome on this show anytime you
want. Listen, I appreciate you guys. I enjoy watching you, and thank y'all for what y'all do for the community, and just so grateful that, you know, it's times like these that even, you know, when it's hard, it makes you really proud to be from Troy.
Oh, it is, man. We live in a
appreciate
great community.
Thank you
Thanks,
very much.
Mayor.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Good morning, everybody. This is Neil from Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. It's time for my morning biscuit. I want you to look how big that biscuit is. I'm going to put this butter on that biscuit. Came from the Pig Cafe out on North 3 Notch. Go see Yanni. Get you a real biscuit. Hey, Wally.
Hey,
What you got there?
where'd you get that biscuit at?
This is
Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch. Where'd you get that?
Oh man, 231, one of those big box chain stores out there.
Man,
They even got a paper straw.
Man, look at the size of that little thing. Look at
Good
it.
gracious.
I'm about to put butter on this. Is 3 times the size of that.
I should have gone see Yanni.
Go to the Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch or call them for catering 334-770-0134. Get a real biscuit.
Don't want a wimpy biscuit.
Wally, what you got there? Hey, man, I'm fishing for sharks, dude. Cane pole and wigglers? Oh, heck yeah, man. When you wear deep south apparel, you look good, you feel good, you can fish good. Well, I got on deep south apparel. What you got? I got a big shark. Could be Charles's cousin with a cane pole. Call Pete Van Horn, Deep South Apparel. Look for him on Facebook. Deep South Apparel. You might catch a shark. Wait a minute. Break? It broke. The shark broke the hook. We're going to get him next time. Wally, where you been, man?
Neil, I've been across the street
Good
over
Lord,
there.
what are you going to do with all that?
I traveled across the street over there. The line was out the door, man. And I saw the UPS store, so I thought I'd come in here and see
Well,
if
I'm
I
glad
could
you
get
came to
the
the
mail.
UPS store.
Hey, to the UPS store. Let me help you with that.
Good, look at this, man. Can you help him mail all this?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Good deal.
I'm
Hey,
taking everything for you.
Grade A customer service at the UPS store. Give them a call today, 566-9470. Don't go across the street. Go to the UPS store for all your copying, printing, and shipping needs. Wally, what are you doing in that Mustang GT 350 out here at Pike County Ford?
Man, I'm about to buy this sweet ride and hit 231 and put my fuzz buster on there, bro.
Man, you're going to need a fuzz buster in that thing. Is that a 5-speed manual shift?
Yeah, it is.
My
5-speed like a
God,
race
what
car, man.
Sweet ride. Look at the clutch, everything, man. Hey, up to $5,000 more than Kelly Blue Book value on your trade-in. Come see them at Pike County Ford. They're dealing.
Well, that's a good song.
Well, hey,
When you're in doubt,
there's a one-hit wonder now.
when you're in pain,
Cash mode.
Yep.
take a look over.
Come on.
I hope they didn't quit their day job.
What? That's classic, man.
Glam Brand?
No, it's Pitch Mode.
I guess. Are you serious?
Yes. Let me see, man. Hold on. It
call.
is When in Rome.
Oh my good googly.
When in Rome is one hit wonder. It's a good one though.
Hey, what about my Eagles, baby?
The Eagles just beat Chicago Bears in Chicago. They scored with 50 seconds left to win the game, 16-15. The Bears drove it down the field, and Cody Parkey, the former Auburn great kicker, missed the game-winning field goal. And ironically, Philadelphia had cut him at the beginning of the season for missing a field goal.
He probably had it all set up that way.
No, so the Bears move on. I mean, the Eagles move on with second-string quarterback Nick Foles, who won the Super Bowl last year. So he's a good second-string quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And Wally wins his marbles on that game. Player of the week in basketball this week is going to be Terrell Sistrunk of Charles Henderson. He led the team in points and blocks and rebounds against Greenville Friday night. He was a beast, Wally. Me and David Doty called that game, and it was Terrell Sistrunk this, Sistrunk that. I mean, anyway. Terrell, you win a one-topping large Marco's pizza. You are the Sports Chat with Neil and Wally Player of the Week this week in basketball. Call Marco's. Go pick you up a free pizza, my man. One topping, large pizza from Marco's. Marco's, we appreciate you sponsoring the show and letting us give away these pizzas.
All right, man.
Terrell Sistrunk.
Well, what upcoming games do we have this week?
Man, we got, hey, everything's getting in full swing.
Yeah, that's
Christmas
big time.
break's over, New Year's break's over. These guys are getting it going. Ayrton is at Abbeville on Tuesday. They host Barber County on Thursday, and then they host Elba on Saturday. Brantley getting started again. They're at Florala on Tuesday. Highland Home. They're at Highland Home on Thursday, and they host Kinston Friday, and then they go to Laverne Saturday night. Carroll of Ozark is at Greenville Tuesday, and then they come to us, Charles Henderson, Friday night. Charles Henderson is at Rehoboth Tuesday night, and then, of course, just like we just said, they host Carroll on Friday night. Elba, they're at Kinston on Tuesday night, and then at Florala on Friday night, and then they at Ayrton on Saturday night. 3 travels for Elba this week. Enterprise, they host Jeff Davis Tuesday night. They're at Robert E. Lee Friday night, and then at Headland on Saturday night.
But Neil Goshen plays Sampson on Thursday.
Yep.
And Greenville hosts Carroll on Tuesday, and they're in Rehoboth on Friday.
Yep.
Luverne hosts Central.
Tuesday night, and Calhoun Friday, and hosts Brantley on Saturday. Pike County hosts St. James Tuesday and Bullock County on Friday, and then they host Barber County on Saturday. Pike Liberal Arts is at Fort Dale on Tuesday. Crenshaw Christian is at Abbeville Christian on Tuesday, and finishing up, Zion Chapel is at Sampson on Tuesday, and they host New Brockton this coming Friday night.
And just let it know that the girls follow.
Yep, the girls follow.
So, all those we just called out, they'll be, the girls will play same school or whatever. Hey, how about a little high school football?
Yeah, I saw a couple of our Pike Liberal Arts players went and played an all-star game.
And they need to be recognized. Well, it's a huge accomplishment. 3 Pike Liberal Arts Patriots were selected to play in Gatlinburg, Tennessee over the weekend. Max Copeland, Cody Hollis, and Jade Sykes, them and their families and their coach, Gene Allen, went to Gatlinburg and played in a national all-star event. That's a huge accomplishment for 3 players. Not just one, but 3. Get selected to play in Gatlinburg in the NAIA association. I thought that was huge. I thought it was huge. Javontes Allen, made it to the Alabama-Mississippi for Charles Henderson, which is probably the equivalent. And guess what starts tomorrow? Tell us. High school baseball
and softball
and girls softball report tomorrow. Now they can't have another. Well, I'm going to call this out too. Another stupid Alabama High School Athletic Association rule. They can't have bats.
Oh, they can't have bats.
Can't have bats for a couple of weeks. What is that accomplishing, Wally?
I don't understand.
Oh, you can get together and practice. You can keep these kids from studying, and you can keep them from getting home early, and you can wear them out and run them and everything, but don't let them hit.
You can throw.
What do you think these athletes do as soon as practice is over?
They go hit.
They go hit. Unbelievable. Stupid. Just stupid. I'm done with Alabama High School. I'm not bashing the Alabama High School Athletic Association anymore. When practice is over, they all go to the rec field and hit together.
Yep. There you go.
Come on, man. Really?
And speaking of rec, hey.
Speaking of rec.
Didn't he post something other on
registration for Troy? And I'm going to tell you what, Troy Recreation Baseball and Softball is huge.
Man, we got
Dothan, Enterprise, Greenville, Andalusia, they don't want to play Troy in All-Stars. I mean, it's just big time.
Hey, let me tell you, we're going to have, man, when baseball season starts, we're going to have some good times on the show with
recreation.
We're
going to
give some of these coaches, Adam Brookins and all that.
We're going to give schedules and who's winning the league and what coach is doing this. We're going to have big time recreation baseball. But registration, Dan Smith put it out. Registration is January the 11th and 12th at the Troy Recreation Department. And you can still register after that. There's a little late fee. And if it's full, it's full, so don't chance it. Get your kids registered on the 11th and 12th. Or you can register them right now online at www.troyrecreation.org. Let your kids be a part of what Dan Smith has got going on. David Dickey, Brian Meadows, Bart Pettis, Judy Tillery. It's something special in Troy, Alabama about Troy Recreation. It is top notch. It don't matter if you're just getting involved with the Troy swimming team in the swimming pool. Get involved. Your kids need to be involved in soccer, softball, baseball, flag football, real football, swimming, basketball. It doesn't matter. Our recreation department is second to none. Yeah. Promise you.
Can't nobody beat us.
And anyway, I'm going to say it again. January 11th and 12th is when you can walk in the recreation department and sign your child up for baseball and softball, or troyrecreation.org. Okay. College basketball.
I guess where I was the other day. Santa Claus brought Blake tickets. Yeah, brought Blake tickets. Yes. He asked Santa, he wanted Kentucky tickets. Yeah. So we went to Alabama.
You went to Tuscaloosa.
Went to Tuscaloosa, man. Great game.
Yep.
Big shout out to our buddy Mike Gregory that had better seats than what Santa brought Blake. And got Blake right close to Coach Calipari. I mean, Blake was loving it. Yeah. Great game.
He had all his Kentucky stuff, didn't he?
Oh, he had Kentucky socks, Kentucky shirt, Kentucky underwear, Kentucky hoodie. Holly had Kentucky stuff, and then I wear some Alabama.
Did you?
Yeah. But I tell you what, man,
enjoyed that.
Hey, did that kid from Luverne High School,
Dante Hall
is something to see.
He's going to play in the NBA.
Whew.
And the Mack guy that transferred from Tennessee, his last name's Mack, M-A-C-K. He was on fire too, man.
Do you think Calipari?
Not Tennessee, Texas.
Does Calipari make good money? You think, or is he
I
struggling?
doubt it, man. He's check the check. Yeah,
Man, I'm gonna tell you something before we go on. Kentucky basketball is like there's nothing else.
In Kentucky, there's not.
They got team. I think they got a team doctor for each player. You all seen all the doctors that? I mean, it's just amazing.
Oh man!
But we had a good time, and Kentucky fell short.
2 points, 77-75. Alabama beat them.
Great game.
First time Alabama beat them since
2013.
2013. That's a long streak.
Long streak, but anyway, we had a good time. But that's what I was going to say about it.
Duke's holding on to the number 1 spot. Michigan's number 2. Tennessee 3. Virginia 4. Kansas 5. Nevada 6. Gonzaga 7. Michigan State, Florida State, Virginia Tech. Auburn's coming in at 12. Kentucky's going to fall out of the top 15. And we'll see how that goes. Alabama's won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Auburn don't play again until the 10th. Troy loses to Coastal Carolina in the middle of the week, but they beat App State over the weekend. They got Little Rock in Arkansas this week, and hopefully they can get back on the winning schedule and get it going. We'll take our last break of the night, and we'll be right back.
We got locks.
And we got a little Monday night football game.
Is there a game tomorrow night?
There's a game tomorrow night.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
What you got, man?
Man,
What's wrong with this thing?
I done wrecked my kayak, man.
What'd you do? Run into a weather buoy out there?
Yeah, I ran into one of those
Out in the
weather
Gulf?
buoys. Yeah, I sure did, man.
Unbelievable, man. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about all this?
I don't know,
Look
man.
how cracked up it
I got to
is.
go and see that lake.
Any insurance?
Ma'am?
Insurance?
I don't have any
He
insurance.
should have went to Crease Insurance Agency out on 231 and got him some insurance. Now he's got to pay cash money for this kayak, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does.
Listen to the beach worker right here. He's got to pay cash for his kayaks. Visit Mike Crease, the Crease Agency, the only insurance agent you'll ever need. Dadgummit. Man. What's going on, Wally? What's wrong with that thing?
Oh, Neil, Dad, my gum, man. I can't cut grass. I can't have nothing anymore.
Is it broke? I mean,
I don't know.
What
What
I
I
chopped it all up over there.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. What I should have done was called Blake Turner with Turner Mowing at
Should've called.
334-465-0600, and I wouldn't be in this predicament
Look
right
at
here.
this. Best rates in town. Call Blake Turner. He'll give you a low quote. He'll give you the best job.
Hey, Neil, man, need some help, man. I watched Point Break last night with Patrick Swayze.
What happened? Here comes the lifeguard.
Same guys, yesterday you already wrecked my kayak and got an insurance.
Are you okay?
Man, I think I pulled
Pulled your leg
my
muscle?
leg muscle.
You're going to have to go to Health Action to get that worked out with physical therapy. Give them a call, 670-5435. Health Action's in front of Hook's Barbecue. Man, I hope you're okay.
I hope too.
Hey, Neil, what's going on, brother? What are you doing with that wood?
Oh, man, my neighbor's out of town, so I'm going to fire me up a barbecue pit right here.
Wait. I don't think this is a barbecue pit.
Yeah, it is a barbecue pit. I'm hungry, man, so I'm going to make some barbecue.
Haven't I told you, call Hook's Barbecue, 808-8008, for all your barbecue needs. Go through the drive-thru, get you some ribs, get you some barbecue. What are you doing at James Sparrow's house? This is not a barbecue.
I think it's a barbecue grill.
That is not a barbecue grill. All your cater needs when your family comes home, 808-8008, Hook's Barbecue. They'll handle all your barbecue needs.
You play the live version. I can't get the live version.
I don't know who that is.
Play the studio recording and I'll get it. Jimmy Buffett.
Me and Bobby McGee, Chris Katopoulos.
Who? Who?
Chris Katopoulos.
Chris Christopherson?
Chris Katopoulos.
Good
John
Lord.
Cock.
I'm not a big Chris Christopherson
That's the
fan.
highwayman. But Janis Joplin.
I was finna say, if you'd have played that version.
Well, Janis Joplin was dating him at the time.
Well, that don't
and he
mean I'm
gave
gonna
her
be able-
that song and made it #1 hit.
That don't mean I'm going to be able to get it in a game 28 years later.
Yes.
We
Unbelievable.
got a little football game tomorrow night if y'all hadn't realized that. Alabama Crimson Tide playing the Clemson Tigers. And
5 points paper.
who's going to win?
Neil, I'm going with Alabama.
They going to cover 5?
They're going to cover 5. And hey, can I go ahead and get my Lowry's locks?
Yes.
Hey, I was 4 for 2 last week.
4 and 2.
4 and 2, 62, 33 and 2. But here is Lowry's locks. Get your sheet and paper out. Bama -5.5 and over 58.5.
Woo!
All right.
They're going to score a lot. You got them scoring, don't you?
Yeah, Kansas City -5.5 and bet the under.
That's 5.5.
That's
Go ahead.
or a hook, whatever you want to call it. Bet under 56.5.
Get your boat. Get your boat.
And Chargers plus 4.5. I like that.
Like them.
And go Chargers over 47. That's my Lowry's locks. But going back to Alabama, I think they'll cover 5.5.
You.
I think so. All right. Hey, Clemson's front four is enormous.
They got some dudes.
But I think
that Lawrence is not going to be able to play, though. His drug test thing came back positive, and he's out again. Their top NFL draft pick playing in the middle on the defensive line, Lawrence, he's out.
I know, so that's another fact.
Of course, it didn't matter against Notre Dame.
Well, Notre Dame was horrible. But
they went undefeated this year.
You know, I'm going to tell you, I hardly ever had them in my top four. I always had UCF.
You know, you were right on that.
They're terrible, man.
Talking about UCF, what happened against LSU?
Umpires. The umps messed it up.
Umpires? The officials?
Yeah, officials mess that up.
How?
Man,
pass interference?
Man, pass interference, blocking the back.
God.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
But anyway, what's your take on the Bama?
Man, I think Quentin Williams is the best player on the field for either team. Quote of the year, I told Forrest this last week, and Pierce Bacher in one of his interviews, they said, what's it like to block Quentin Williams in practice? He said, it's like blocking a wet bar of soap. I thought that was a great quote. He's going to have another field day. I just don't think the Clemson offensive line are going to be able to handle him. I don't think that ETN is going to have a good running game, and Trevor Lawrence will be good because he's proven he's good. But he's still a true freshman. And like you said, Notre Dame's defense wasn't all that they were built up to be. And I really think you saw what happened to Lamar Jackson today against the Chargers defense. Mm-hmm. I kind of think that's going to be Trevor Lawrence. The game's going to be too fast for him. Quentin Williams, nobody has made Trevor Lawrence get off his perch quicker than Quentin Williams is going to make him get off his perch.
And Neil is going to throw another common denominator in the whole fix here. They may be playing in a slop pit down there. I don't think that field is.
Yeah.
They're getting a lot of rain. Yeah. I think it's raining there now. I mean, it's just.
I think that'll favor Alabama.
Yeah, I do. Now, another thing, crowd noise. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
We saw tickets almost $50. When you're paying $50,
when you got two East Coast teams playing for national championship on the West Coast, that's what you get.
No, you and I talked about this last night. I'm going to throw this around.
Yeah.
They do. You're right. I think they need a backup plan in the future where
that's right.
Do have two East Coast or West Coast teams.
Play it there.
Play it in that area, or just have a backup.
Right. Have a backup. That's right.
Monday night. I mean, most folks again.
They're gonna be at home.
To be at home. I mean, you got to go to work Tuesday.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people had to split their preference. A lot of people went to Miami and not going to San Francisco.
But is it becoming Clemson and Bama burnout, you think?
I don't think so. The fair weather fans, yes. But the true football fans that enjoy watching the game and figuring out, is this cover 2, is this cover 3, is this cover 0? They don't have anybody back there. The ones that look at the game for schematics and look at the game for athletic ability and realize that guy's faster than this guy if he runs this route. Those people are not burnt out because they want to see those quality athletes and those caliber of coaches clashing. But the fly-by-night person that says, I got to watch that for 3 hours, they've been in it every year. Yeah, it could be a little burnout. Could be. But not for me. Not for me.
Man.
Not for me.
But it's going to be a good game, I think.
I'll take Alabama. Alabama's going to win it by 7 or 9. It's going to be 30-something to low, 31 to 20, 34 to 20, something like that. I think it goes under.
And I bet.
Because it's going to be sloppy. It's going to be a slop bowl. I saw a picture on Twitter where the grass was just dirt.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, it's just not going to be a conducive place to play, to be honest with you.
But Alabama-Clemson tomorrow night. We got a few minutes left in the show, and I wanted to run over the short list for the Troy job.
Oh, yeah.
Chip Lindsey, Gene Chizik, Tommy Tuberville, Vic Koenig, Matt Moore, John Summerall, and Mike Turk.
You know who my number one pick is?
Who's your number one?
Matt Moore.
Matt Moore.
Matt Moore, and I'm going to tell you why Matt Moore needs to be this next coach.
He would be a dang good one.
Matt Moore needs to be his coach because he helped build this wall. He knows these players.
Promote from within?
Promote within.
He recruited them.
He recruited them. He knows the systematics, all the stuff for Troy. If they don't go after Matt Moore, something's crazy.
I agree with you. Sadly, I think Neil's taking Vic Koenig and Matt Moore with him to West Virginia. But you're exactly right. They need to corner Matt Moore up and say, this job is yours.
If you want.
That's
the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do. You're right. And he's earned that chance. And we'll see. But I hear through the grapevines.
Chip Lindsey.
I'm hearing through the grapevines. Chip Lindsey's the front runner. He was at Auburn this year as the OC and got canned after the last game. And Chip Lindsey's been here before. He's got a great track record at Troy, and did not burn his bridges. And welcome back if he gets the job. Gene Chizik would be a good one. A Troy coach walking the Troy sidelines with a national championship ring on, that'd be kind of different.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. Tommy Tuberville, I think his horse is in the barn. Does he really want to come out of retirement? I don't think so. Vic Koenig would be a dang good one. Matt Moore would be a dang good one. John Summerall would be great coming back to Troy. He's got Troy roots. He's well liked in the community. Mike Turk has earned his way.
I'd like to see Mike back here
Mike Turk is Troy Trojan royalty.
Oh, yeah.
It would be nothing for him to come back. And he's proven at Huntington he can coach football. And John Summerall, but those are your front runners for the Troy job. Hey, you got Alabama Clemson tomorrow night. We're going to watch this Troy job. Watch our if you noticed, we broke the Neil Brown to West Virginia story before anybody else on Sports Chat with Neil and Wally on Twitter and Facebook. So if I was you, I'd pay attention on that short list. And you might be the first to find out who the next Troy head coach is right on Sports Chat with Neil and Wally.
Exactly. And we want to thank everybody again for our numbers. Neil just keep going up.
Keep going
up and up. And
we're humbled.
We're very humbled, and we can't do it.
We had no idea that people would like this.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
We enjoyed doing this. We'll see you next Sunday night. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate you staying an extra 15, 16 minutes with us. We hope you enjoyed the overage. We'll see you next Sunday night. Take care.